What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Wardcast, your weekly source for video game news, machinima, and survival horror discussion, updates on the ward, and more. I'm your host, Sean Clark, alongside Jazz Rich,
Hi.
Alec Funnel. What the hell was
The Alec
that?
Way, lesson 4. Alec likes his men like he likes his cigarettes. Straight acting. This has been a public service not actually paid for by the sale of fuzzy pink watches.
Whoa.
From Botswanistan. And Shayla Hill.
Hi.
That derails me sometimes when you do that. It's like,
no, it's hilarious.
everything stops. I'm like in the middle of saying my thing, and then it's like, bloop.
Bah.
Should I go back to making my own pronouns?
No.
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 Keep doing what you're doing. It's fine. It's great. This week, we're talking about EA increasing prices, following up on Microsoft's woke program, Star Wars Outlaws being a disaster, and more. But first, Shayla,
I
How
get
was
to
your week?
start?
you get to start. You get to start.
Yay! Yay! I had a really good week. I took a break from streaming because I needed to move my setup. But I like where I am now. The sound's a little bit better, and I can be way more loud and unhinged now. And also less interruptions in the background. But as far as what I've been consuming, I'm so excited to talk about this show. It's on Showtime Paramount Plus, and it's called The Curse. It's like this really trippy, cringe, inducing, like black comedy, which honestly, it's taken me a long time to come around to liking those because a lot of times I was just like, what is this weird? Like, how is this funny? It's just unfortunate. But I feel like this takes it just a step farther, um, enough to make it entertaining. It's written by Nathan Fielder. He's responsible for a show called Nathan for You, and Benny Safdie. He's a director. He directed. He's like part of a duo with his brother. They did Uncut Gems, and he's also like doing acting stuff. So they both write and act in it, and it's like a reality show within a show. So it's a show about a reality show, and it focuses on the couple that are trying to make the show work, and they're very awkward and weird. Emma Stone plays the wife, um, from like Superbad and La La Land. Uh, and it's only 10 episodes, so it's really easy to binge. It has like one of the weirdest endings for a show I've ever seen. Um, and I just haven't really seen anything else like it. Um, it has like that. It's just so cringy. Like it's uncomfortable, but it's funny. And it has this really cool like supernatural element to it. Like the premise is, um while they're filming the reality show, uh the director tells Nathan Fielder's character to go give this little girl some money, and the only thing he has in his wallet is $100 bill, and he's like, I can't give her that. He's like, come on, the camera's rolling, do it, do it, do it. So he gives the little girl the money, and then once the camera stops rolling, he's like, I can't give you $100. I'm gonna go get some change, and I'll give you the rest back. Just give me my $100 back. And she's like, what? You gave me $100. You can't give it back. And he's like, I'm gonna give you more than I'm gonna give you money. I just can't give you the whole $100. Just give me the money back. And he grabs it from her, and she's like, I curse you. And the series kind of revolves around like whether there's little things that start indicating that the curse might actually be real, or are these people just unfortunate. And it plays a lot with that kind of like supernatural aspect where you can't tell, is like, wait, is the director of the reality show fucking with them, or are there actual supernatural things going on? And the show plays with that a lot throughout the whole thing, with some really um odd and eerie music to accompany it. So like it just a very atmospheric and unique and uh definitely recommend it, especially with only being like 10 episodes and it's kind of quick to get through. And interestingly enough, the game I played is very similar in the sense that kind of psychological weirdness. I played Hellblade. I started Hellblade, Senuna's Sacrifice from Ninja Theory, where you play this girl.
Senuna.
Well, how would you say her name? Have you guys played?
Senua?
Yeah. Have you played it?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so trippy. I don't know how that game went completely under my radar, but like it looks amazing.
I don't know. Maybe a couple of years ago when I was like, Shada, you would totally like this game I'm playing called Hellblade. And you were like, oh, I have to look it up.
She got back to you 2 years later.
Yeah, well, here I am 2 years later, and I'm
Family
watching
Guy
it,
flashback.
playing it.
Shayla, oh yeah, I totally look it up.
Even I
Well,
played it
it's-
before you.
Well, it's really
That's not
great.
surprising.
I like that the combat is fluid. It's really straightforward. Like, it just like I don't know. One of the things that really got me is I was kind of worried because it gives me this sense of like hopelessness and bleak. Like, is this one of like, what are we all here for? Just to suffer? But then again, I heard there's a Hellblade 2, so I'm like, okay, I'm down.
I heard.
I'm
Don't
down.
buy it.
Not
Don't
on the
do it.
podcast that I'm frequently on that we talk about a lot. I didn't hear it there, but I heard there's a second one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm.
If you buy that
really-
game, we're no longer friends. I'm just kidding.
That's all you
It's
have to do.
digital only. That's all you have to do.
Oh, well,
I want it, but
well, the fact that there's a 2 is why I'm pressing on for 1, because I was worried that it's like, is this just gonna go in a direction where it's just like everything? I don't know. It's like it never goes well when you're searching for someone who's dead. You know, usually, especially when it involves like going spiritual and going to hell. It's like usually people don't come back from that. You just drag yourself down. So we'll see. But yeah, it's super cool. Like, oh my gosh, I love how I like how trippy and scary it is. But it's got like actual combat, so it's not just a strict like story driven type. I don't know, I like it. It's pretty cool. And then
it's a good game.
yes, I'm glad you guys think it's a good game because I'm liking it so far. I can't believe I didn't hear about it before.
I mean, I even like sent you a picture. There's one point where you're like
Did you?
dead, and there's like you're like dead on the ground. And there's like guts and shit, and I sent you a picture of that with a tag that said, "Uh-oh, Barry, did I died?" I still have it on my old computer.
Oh my!
And you were like, "Laha, what game's that from?" And I was like, "Hellblade."
You told me.
And you were like, "Oh my god, I have to play this." So it would have been a great game 2 years ago too, Shayla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I probably didn't have a way to play it, so. And then I just have my show and tell. I got this.
Fucking ramen.
Cooking.
It's so cute though. It's Chainsaw Man. It's Chainsaw Man ramen bowl. It's got little Chainsaw Man chibis on it. Makima and Aki and Tawa. And then the spoon is a pochita. He's so cute.
I don't know
So,
what
yeah.
any of that you just said means.
I know
Well,
ramen and bowl.
It's the
And spoon.
characters from the show.
Oh yeah, spoon.
And it's really cute. And I like these ramen style bowls. And I got yelled at the other day because I was using my roommate's, and he just doesn't understand that I like this kind of bowl. It's got a high. And so then I saw at the store, I saw Chainsaw Man one, and I was like, that's mine. So yeah. How was your week, Jazz? Yeah.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why is
Jazz.
it me?
It's Sean. Hello.
Oh, I
Hello.
thought Sean was supposed to go last.
Oh no, but he was just the big one.
Oh,
I was the big one. Calling me fat.
No.
Yes.
My week was it was
A
busy.
week.
It was really busy, and I'm tired.
Hi, tired.
I slept. I think not a lot. I had a lot of burgers. I watched a lot of movies this week because I'm trying to redeem myself after not having watched a lot of. How come your Sprite says Sprite on the outside and mine says it on the inside? Just not fair. Nobody will
What?
know I'm
You're
drinking
special.
Sprite.
It's just
Yeah, when you
It's a
drink, it says Sprite,
special
so people
Sprite.
know you're drinking Sprite. But me, I have to like.
Oh,
you have to
yeah.
drink it.
And yours is black and mine is white.
Oh,
Why?
it's because mine is Sprite Zero.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm not racist.
Whoa! Wow.
Yeah, we're going there. Coca-Cola. So I I watched Founder, the movie about McDonald's, or the
Why
movie
did
about
you
the
say it like that? The movie about McDonald's?
because it started off being such a good movie, and then I was angry at him. So I ordered McDonald's because with all these people eating burgers, and I was like, okay, well now I really want McDonald's, so I ordered it. And then by the time it got here, I was at a point in the movie where I realized what the guy did, and that this guy was a friggin' asshole. And I was like, well, now I'm mad at McDonald's. We should boycott this fucking shit. But all my burgers are here. So, no, we're not going to do that. And I'm going to eat McDonald's because it's freaking good. But I'm still mad at him. So, fuck that guy. He stole it. He's mean.
What movie is it?
Founder. It's on Netflix.
Founder. Okay.
Yeah, but it should be called Asshole.
Asshole to show.
Stealer. I also watched this movie. I don't remember what it's called. It's like Six Below or something. It's this guy who he's like trying to fight a drug addiction, and he gets like stranded on a mountain during a storm when he goes snowboarding, and then like while he's surviving these like seven days with like no food or whatever, he's like obviously got no drugs, and he's like his survival and him realizing like, oh my god, like I fucked up my life, I have to be better. And also he like fights through the like withdrawals and the addiction and like obviously the elements and stuff, and like he fights to survive and to prove everything wrong and like to prove that he can make it and change. And it was really good. I like movies like that. And I forgot what the other movie it was that I watched, but it was also good. I don't remember, but I did play a new game. I tried and got to day 2 of Five Nights at Freddy's because I figured it was about time. It was about time, and it was $5 on Steam. It was about time that I tried it. I was getting really upset because there's no settings in the game. So not only does it not tell you how to do anything, it's just like, here you go. But also, it's like, it doesn't support controller, which is fine. I know that later games do, but it's just like slide your mouse side to side, which I figured out on my own to open the doors and window and lights, or slide down for the iPad. And that's it. But I have 2 monitors, and there's no settings, so I can't switch it from full screen to windowed at all. So when I slide, I have to like really be careful, otherwise I'm just gonna slide right off screen to my other monitor, and then the game minimizes. And when
I have multiple monitors too, but like when I'm playing a game, like when I'm clicked in and controlling a game, like my mouse stays within the borders of the game.
Mine does that too, but for some reason this game is not. It's not like windowed. It just keeps going.
Weird.
And so I'm like, oh shit, this guy's right outside, and I gotta close this door, and then the game minimizes, and I'm like, oh no!
Wow.
So I started freaking out, but more for that, and I think I can grow to like this kind of game. It's like the hype.
God.
Now that the hype of like, oh my god, this is the best game ever. Everybody's stuck on like these other future games of it. Now I can appreciate the first one for what it is. It's pretty hard to see on the camera sometimes, but I do get the element of you're clicking through the cameras, and you're like, oh, okay, they're all on stage, and then you're like, okay, where is it? Oh, okay, they're all no, where did this one go? Where are you? Okay, you're there. Okay, now what? You're like, it's nerve-wracking, and day 1 wasn't so bad. Day 2 got me. So I have to go back and try to get past that day. And then you're looking at the time, you're looking at your batteries, and you're like, no. So it was pretty good. It was okay. I like. I will keep playing.
It's such a cool concept because one of his early games is like try not to die, but your character can't move. And it's like you can tell that's what he used elements from that because you really can't move. You're stuck in one position and you have to manage everything around you not to die.
Well, yeah, you can't move and you can only like go side to side. And
Mhm.
the fact that I'm fighting. Sorry, I'm like super itchy. The fact that I'm fighting my other monitor and
Are you
trying
tasty?
not to go off screen and like have everything lower on me because like still hear the game. I'm hearing like this boom 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 boom, and I'm like
no!
open. It was pretty funny. But I think other than that, I've just been playing the usual games. We played some Gabbage with Alec, which is fun because we haven't been playing a lot of games with Alec, so it was fun to get not during work
Gabbage.
time play games with Alec. And I think we had a lot of fun. We died a lot.
Yeah,
we
still
did
haven't-
okay.
I mean, I died a lot
Garbage.
because I was so dead set on killing a spider, and I don't think I only killed
Yeah,
the
you got
one
obsessed
because
with that.
like the best is like Alec watched me. I was standing on the beam and I was like killing the spider, and then I was like, Sean, and I turned around. And Alec's like, nice, and I was like, you saw that, yay! And then I like cheered him on to jump across the beam, and I'm pretty sure you didn't. He fell. But I think my favorite was still like when we were being chased by Bracken, and I was just I think he went after Sean, and I walked through a door, and immediately he's like,
Oh yeah.
Surprise!
surprise.
It's like I find Sean later. It's like
Surprise
Jazz is
break.
dead.
Yeah, Sean's like, all I see is like they meet up, and Sean's like, "There's a Bracken," and Alec's like, "Yeah," and Sean's like, "Did he kill Jazz?" He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
But yeah, we did pretty good, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I have two because I forgot to show this last week. My cousin gave me a late birthday present because she was in Guatemala on my birthday, but she knows that I like rocks and I pick up rocks everywhere. She also knows that I'm weird. So it's just like a little dinosaur rock.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a little T-Rex rock.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because dinosaurs rock.
Yeah.
He's cute. He's just a little T-Rex. I don't know what it's. It's the Labradorite is what it's called. And then another one, it's a hat. It's just a hat. It's a bucket hat. And it's got
Do you put it on a bucket?
It's got Roddick Lake. That's the lake where my cottage is. When I was younger, I loved bucket hats. I always had them. And then there was like this little store across the lake where we'd go to. Well, the adults bought beers, we bought chips and stuff, sometimes fireworks, and they had like these things they were selling. And so my mom was like, "Oh, you want a bucket hat?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so like I'll always have this because I mean it's the family cottage, and it's a bucket hat. It's two things from my childhood. And yeah, I don't know. I just found it in my closet and I was like, ooh, bucket hat.
Ooh.
No, I don't hear anything weird. But let's go to Alec.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
Short and sweet this one. I did play Lethal Company with Sean and Jazz. That was fun. I watched WrestleMania 40, which was good. I played new to me, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. No, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. The very last game I played on my PS5 before it died.
On your PS5?
Yeah, my PS5 died. And so boyfriend Ian's been trying to fix it, and it's in parts. So my show and tell is my PS5 in bits. So that was a fan.
Wow, how does that happen?
That was a shell.
Of its former self.
The trays, I guess I could use it for a cookie tray at some point in the future.
You could bring it to the company.
Yeah.
Usually worth
what
about
else?
$50.
What happened?
High
Like,
price.
does it just like not turn on anymore,
Destroy.
or what?
Oh, so I was playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. You know, I was actually starting to enjoy myself playing that game.
That was your first mistake.
Yeah. and then the fuse in the inside of the console blew up. Like I could smell smoke coming from it. I'm like, oh, yeah. So it knocked off all the other electrics in the house. I was like,
Oh my god.
yeah.
That's
I was like,
horrible.
that's fucked. And when we did get all the electrics back up running again, I was like, okay. So, because Ian's got his own PS5, it's not the physical disc edition, but like I grabbed his plug and put it in the back of my PS5, and it burnt out the fuse in his plug, and it's just like, yeah, my PS5 is kafucked.
It sounds like it like overloaded a circuit or something for it to like do that. Did anything else break or just the PS5?
Just the PS5.
You
And we
should
know
contact
we-
Sony and be like, "Yo,
Well,
Yeah,
now
you really
that they
should.
took it apart, I
Yeah,
think
now
that
they
ship
took
has
it
sailed.
apart.
But
It's too... Yeah.
I
was gonna
told
say, don't
Alec
tell
he
him that,
should
but-
send it in. Like, well, I mean, there's a sticker. Like when you open it up,
there's also a live
voids the
broadcast
sticker.
of him doing that."
So
I mean, it was very strange. It's like when it actually died, it's like I didn't react. Like I wasn't angry, I wasn't upset. I was just like, huh. I was like indifferent to it. It's like, okay.
Yeah, if you
Um,
find the part that's damaged, similar to what Lee just said, there's probably somebody online who would buy it for parts, but also I see a lot of people selling cheap
Strange.
PS5s for parts, so maybe somebody would have that specific part that you can get for cheap.
So this is part of the PS5. Yeah, I guess it's like kind of more of a modem kind of thing. But as he was taking it apart, I was just like, yeah, this is pretty much just like a small fucking laptop.
I mean,
And the shell, internal shell.
you could
But
probably
yeah.
still take it into like there's some smaller like video game places will do repairs or like PC repair
Yeah.
shops. Sometimes
fine.
they'll do consoles. You might
I
be able to
mean-
get it fixed for like $100 or something.
So far, Ian spent about £40. So there's like 5 different sets of screws in the PS5, and he's got like so many different fucking screws specifically to like star shaped with a little dot in it and mechanical, magnetic. And it's like, just accept it instead. I accepted it like 1 second into it blowing up, but yeah. So yeah, that was my show and tell. My PS5 is in Blitz. Yay! Sean, how was your week?
this is why England got invaded. So
They
many
just
times.
give up.
They just accepted it 5 seconds,
Yeah, they're like, it's fine.
It's
Just let
like
it
that.
happen.
and then
It's
we
a-
go and cover their ass.
It's a bit like the Family Guy sketch of when they all were British and then Peter's like spontaneously catching on fire. It's like, oh, it's okay. I grow tired of living anyway.
Oh, it seems I've caught into flames.
Oh,
Sure.
Alec, you fuck.
Okay.
I watched a few episodes of the Fallout show, and it's I liked the first episode. The second episode I didn't really like so much, but
I love
I don't
Bruno.
know. I'm hoping it's good. It could go either way at this point, but like my biggest concern is that like I really don't like the characters. Like they're I don't know. There's a soldier guy and he's just like this big bitch and he's like one of the main characters and I'm just like I don't want to follow this
Big
guy's
bitch.
story.
The soldier guys are always big bitches, though.
Yeah, what a
Soldier
big
Boy.
bitch.
It kind of cuts back and forth between a couple different characters and like every time it goes to him I'm just like I really don't want to watch this.
I don't want to watch this big bitch.
Yeah, big old little bitch. And I don't know, there's just things about it that are a little bit irritating. Like it feels kind of fan servicey a little bit, but I feel like that's just expected at this point. If they're doing anything that's based on something, they lean so hard into that at this point because you gotta pull in the fans. You gotta be like, hey, fans, look at this, look how excited we are about the thing that you like. Give us money. Like it just I don't like when they do that, and this show seems to be doing that. And like the power armor is like a really big part of like what's going on in the story, and it's just like why like it's just a thing. It was like a
Like
cool
the
thing in the
iconic-
game, but it was, huh?
The power armor is like a super iconic part of Fallout. It's like I don't know. I
It
never
is,
used
but
it.
it's kind of like if you think about, yeah, neither did I, but like
I
when you
know.
see it, it's
I
cool and
hate
stuff.
it.
But that's kind of my point. Is
It's the
like
cover guy.
it's an iconic thing, so they're like, oh, people like this. Let's put it in there as much as we can, and it devalues it quite a bit because like even if you were to use it in the game, it's like it's such a minor part of what's going on. Like you have fun with it, it's cool, it's there, it's gone, and it just kind of feeds into the world of Fallout. It's not what Fallout is, but they treat it like, hey, this is a big important thing about like what Fallout is. So they're going to put it in there as much as they can. It's getting to the point where when I see it, I'm like, oh God. And that's not a good thing.
Wah, wah.
The music is really cool. They even have the song that they had in Fallout 3, the kind of theme song. I don't know, like I don't know if you guys saw that initial trailer when they revealed Fallout 3, but they had that song in it to reveal like what Fallout 3 was going to be. So it's cool that they kind of put that in there as a nod to Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is my favorite Fallout game, so that was cool.
Is that the like
But-
I don't want to see the
Yeah,
world on
yeah.
fire?
But like that's how you
okay.
do it. Like little things like that. Like throw this song in there that people will recognize, and it's a fan servicey thing, and it doesn't like derail. It doesn't pull you out of the experience. Like little shit like that is nice. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not gonna rip it apart or anything. I know Jazz is gonna watch it and stuff, but I don't know. I'm still hopeful for it. I don't know. I just want things to be good. You know what I mean? That's all I want. And what are you faulting me for having hope, Alec? Is that okay? I try. That's really all I watched. I played, like you said, Jazz played Lethal Company with you and Alec, and played the Baldur's Gate, the Peepees,
The babies.
and it's pretty much it. Still haven't gotten to Alone in the Dark, but I want to. Show and tell. So I don't remember what the hell I've showed and told. All right. So if I showed and told these, I'm sorry, but I got at least one thing to add to it, at least in case I did show and tell it. But I got the collector's edition of Life is Strange, and my collection
Strange.
is weird because I have like
Strange.
second one and they're on different platforms, which is kind of weird.
Oh wow, I have that one too.
Gee, how did you get that?
I don't know. It just arrived in the mail sometime.
Oh wow, that's so weird. But yeah, I'll never have to open them because I believe I have them both digitally.
Well, I opened mine, so I can show you what's inside if you ever need to see.
How could you?
You sent me a soundtrack. You expect me not to listen to it? You fuck.
I mean, you could
Yeah.
download it.
Open your games.
Shut
Open
your
them.
mouth.
But yeah, cool little limited editions. It's weird. I thought I had both of them physically, like the regular editions, but I don't. I only have the digital one. So at some point I'll have to rectify that. But I also got the newer one. I haven't played it. I don't know if I'll ever play it. I've heard things. I'm pretty
It's
sure.
okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hate it.
Uh,
Um,
I
What?
completed it.
how
Done
was
it.
it? Did
It's
you?
okay. It gets a little bit frustrating because some of the platinum, like some of the trophies, are like you have to do certain things specifically, and you think, eh. And then
But
it,
how's the game?
bugs.
It's not always about the
Um,
trophies, you guys.
it's always about platinum.
Game's okay. Some of the trophies are frustrating though.
Yeah, it's a nice story. It fucks you up towards the end, like most of Life is Strange games. So yeah,
Like most of
It's-
life.
Were the
Yeah.
characters any good?
No.
yeah,
No.
better than Life is Strange 2. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that Sean guy.
What a dick. And
Yeah.
I'll
What
just
a
get the
dick.
steelbook for it Lee sent me. It got all fucked up.
I'm hearing someone's Discord explode.
Yeah, so am I.
Shayla.
I think it was me.
But yeah, it's a cool little. I like the artwork and it's all shiny and stuff. But yeah,
Is there a dent in it?
Lee sent me a bunch of stuff, and he put like these on the outside of the box, Like
Oh no.
he kind of like covered the whole outside of the box with steel books, and half of them got damaged, as you would expect. I get that he ran out of space, but god damn it, Lee, that was a bad call. But yeah, life is strange.
You
Strange.
should have covered them in Marmite, and then therefore it
There
would have
you
been
go.
fine.
Ew.
Wow. Agrees with and then kicks out.
But it is time for the news. Oh no. The good old days, remember when we were just like
Shayla's all blurry.
oh no, Shayla, what's going on over there?
She must be taking her clothes off.
Shayla, you can't be running multiple things when you're streaming on a podcast. We can't hear you. If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Oh, I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Well, there's like Discord notifications and your
I can't
screen's
believe
going
you heard
blurry.
those.
And tarot
know.
cards.
You having a party over there? I don't know what's going
Ratted
on.
you out. Meh.
Don't you shit.
Doing?
Taking a shit.
I
Don't
just
you take
did.
the shit.
Guys,
Not
I
doing
didn't
anything.
do it.
All right, we're going to get this one out of the way first because I know it's everybody's favorite thing in the world. But we're going to start off with the follow-up from 2 weeks ago. We were talking about Microsoft's Gaming for Everyone's product inclusion framework, which aims to put people in a woke mindset while developing games. I don't want to get into all of that again, but it's essentially just a guide with like checkboxes to make developers implement specific things like within the game that they're making that includes like
Sweet baby ink.
it's DEI stuff. You know, it's like we have to have X amount of these people and we got to make sure that we're not sexualizing over here, and it's just all this political bullshit. And they're turning that into a program that developers are encouraged to utilize. So it's just not good. And that's not the only thing that's happening within the game industry. It's like when you're going through the news every week like I am, you know, you would understand this a little bit better, but there's constantly all these things happening within the industry and obviously outside. The outside shit is just making its way into media, and you know, it sucks. It's just creating all kinds of problems and stuff. And because of like, since you guys don't really get to see what I'm seeing, I put together a video for us to watch that kind of put some of these things together, like a couple of videos and stuff. And there's this YouTuber that has been talking about it. And I took her video and kind of chopped it up a little bit so that we don't have to watch a long video, but it kind of gives you little snippets of all the different things that are going on within the industry that you can kind of get a better perspective as to what's going on and why we're seeing stuff like this being implemented, and like why they're changing and censoring games, and why Stellar Blade is so problematic right now. It's just because of all the stupid political bullshit that's going on within the industry. So we're gonna watch that real quick, and we'll talk about it for a minute, and then we'll move the fuck on. I just think it's important, like being a video game podcast, you know, this stuff is so abundant that it would just be ingenuine if we didn't at least speak about it a little bit. You know, like I said, I try to ignore it for the most part, but to never ever talk about it, I feel like is just not really the right thing to do. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. Let me pull up the video. Give me 1 second.
Oh, Shayla's gone.
Oh, Shayla, are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Where the hell is my video? Did you take my video? Did you take
Yes,
it?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I forgive you.
Oh, you're so nice.
All right, here we go.
And I sort of became aware of this issue by finding all these different clips on Twitter that were going viral of just how woke the gaming industry is behind the scenes. They're having many a conversation about how to highlight marginalized identities and put DEI at the forefront of the work they do, rather than quality when it comes to the games they're creating.
We work very hard to get marginalized talent into the industry, to protect them the way that we would want to have been protected, to lift them up, and to get them into an industry where they're too often shut out. And basically, I think to take over with hopes that some really dope people will be able to lead into kind of a new era for an industry that's been kind of, the same way too long. If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
Ah, yes, that beautiful form of inclusion where we literally terrify people into doing what it is that we want them to do. Sounds so wonderful. Alyssa in 2021 tweeted out, "More white people need to get their ass beat on the regular." When she was called out for her racism, she doubled down by making this her Twitter header. "Hi, you can't be racist against white people. Thanks for tuning in." Or maybe you've seen this clip from the company Dove that has launched its Real Virtual Beauty campaign, where it partners with multiple companies within the video gaming industry to promote female representation. This is yet another industry that has been infiltrated by the woke left, and they are quite literally forcing this ideology into your video games and into your entertainment. And even though the general consensus seems to be that this is unwanted ideology, it still is prevailing. Now, why is that? It seems as though these companies are getting tax breaks and funding for allowing this ideology and dogma to be included in the video games that they are producing. And they're deciding to take that shortcut to more money, as game developing is extremely expensive, rather than taking actual time to create something of quality and maybe get the money elsewhere. And it's no coincidence that video games are largely played by young people with malleable minds. The earlier they can catch people with these sort of ideas, the more likely they are to believe them, and believe them in the long term.
But yeah, so it's just like shit like that. And if you, I don't know if you guys watch or listen to any other podcasts or anything like that within like video games, but it's like everybody's kind of where I'm at. Like nobody wants to talk about it, but everybody's constantly talking about it because it's just so prominent in everything that's happening within the industry. Like all these companies are implementing all these initiatives that are just going to make this even more and more commonplace. And it's becoming less and less about making something interesting and fun to play and just making it more about a political statement and what you can't do. You can't do this. You can't touch that. Don't talk about this. Don't show that. And it's not, and it's all like, oh, we're doing it in the name of diversity and equality. And it's not actually what's happening. What's happening is they're doing it because they're able to get funding through these companies like, Sweet Baby will inject money because they work for like the investors who need these companies to be, ticking these boxes for them to be eligible for funding. So like these games are so expensive at this point that they're looking for all the ways that they can get funding so that they can be successful or whatever. And this is how they're doing it because, that's the culture right now, is to be woke, to be political, to lean into that kind of narrative. That's where the money is. That's where the popularity is. That's where the talking points are. So it's kind of like a popularity contest. It's not about doing the right thing. It's not about making something good. It's problematic. It's not cool. So when I see Microsoft is putting in this framework for making this the priority when you're developing video games is very concerning because things are already not great. So once people start mandating things like this, and this is the starting point of game development, just think how bad it's going to be in the future. It sucks. Thoughts, comments, concerns, anybody? Do you guys does anybody even, just out of curiosity, does anybody notice like I know a lot of us don't really play like the newer stuff, like the
I notice it
multiplayer
all the
stuff.
time.
Yeah.
Notice.
Are you dying over there, Alec? Oh man.
I actually have noticed, and so for me, I feel like some of it's welcomed, and then some of it, I just feel like uh, I'm very indifferent because um, I feel like a lot of stuff is gonna. A lot of stuff doesn't. Some of it just doesn't matter. Um, and it's nice to see some different ideas, and then other stuff, it's like it's gonna um people are gonna end up speaking with their wallets in the end, and um if people actually don't like it, then they're not gonna make money, and the nature of the beast is they're just not gonna get more money, like it's only gonna last so long.
I keep saying, about this kind of shit. Let it go completely tits up, and then once it's finally dead, they realise it's all gone. This doesn't get money. They go back, and then we'll go back to the fun times. So
Yeah.
just
I agree
yeah.
with that to a point. It's just like once we go back, what does that look like? Like are all the good like developers that we liked, are they around anymore? What's left of them? Is it even worth having at that point? Like it's just like Rocksteady. Rocksteady was really great. Now they're not. Now they're making shitty political games that no one is buying. Like you said, speak with your wallet, and that's great. But what's going to happen? What does that road look like? That road looks like, okay, well, they do 2 or 3 of these misses, these multi-million-dollar investments that are woke or whatever, and they don't sell. They're going to damage Rocksteady as a developer. Like they're going to have layoffs and they're going to shrink. And then they're not going to be the Rocksteady that we knew that was capable of making games that we enjoyed. They're going to be kind of a shell of that. And then like if every prominent developer within the industry becomes that, like how shitty are
But
games going to be?
they do that all the time anyway. Like, I hate to say it, but a lot of these people who made some of the stuff we absolutely fall in love with now all wanted to retire anyway and enjoy their time off now that they spent, like, a lot of them worked under really shitty, awful conditions because passion, and push themselves to the point that they probably don't even like want to make video games anymore. So they pass it off to someone else, and now we see the result of it. So it's like they're probably all gone anyway. The best we can hope for is like the future generations retaining that passion, and maybe even if some of the bullshit that's going on now inspires someone to make a game that they're passionate about, I think it all equals out in the end.
But when you're talking about the next generation too, like if we're growing that generation to think a certain way and prioritize not video games first, like is that really going to be a healthy environment? Like are we really going to have are we going to have hope for the future,
Yeah,
quality
but
games in
most
the
of the time
future?
but we've already been seeing that most of the time where where it happens, where someone's making someone something just for the sake of pushing an agenda, it usually flops anyway.
Hmm.
Like, because people can tell whether something is like, oh, you just had some you maybe added some creative flair to um a game that's already awesome and has some cool stuff to it, and oh, look at this, like, propaganda. People aren't going to buy that kind of shit anyway. Like, they just don't. Like, everybody comes out and everybody clowns on the internet, and people point it out real fast. Like, look at this drivel, look at this garbage, look at this trash, and it dies.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like we're approaching a massive crash within the industry where like yeah, that stuff does happen, like in the past, like things like that,
Didn't that
people are
happen to Saints
overworked or
Row?
whatever, and they leave and stuff like that. Yeah, and what happened to Volition? They're gone. Look at Disney. Disney's fucking struggling, and it's one of the biggest companies in the world, and they've been pursuing like the woke shit really hard, like more than a lot of companies, and they're even destroying themselves. Like their record low reports for attendance at the parks. They're canceling things constantly, layoffs, just lots and lots of things that are happening over at Disney. And you would think that they would be fail proof because they've been around for 100 years and everybody knows them. Everybody's loved them for so long. They're, multi-billion-dollar corporation, maybe even more than that, and they're failing. So like if you look at that at a smaller level within the industry, and we're not talking about like pockets of developers here and there that are like overworked or whatever, and they leave and that developer changes and shuts down or whatever. Yes, that has happened in the past. But I'm talking about we're seeing this across the board. Like this is going to be more frequent than not, and it's going to be really damaging. To me, like it sucks to crunch is not good, and the mentality of being a developer and overworking yourself for the passion and stuff like that. There's some toxicity there, but I feel like that, like having people that are motivated and willing to do that, it shouldn't be taken advantage of, but the fact that people are there that are willing to do that is important compared to like the generation that we have now and that we will have in the future, where they don't have passion. They just want to either coast by. It's just like a regular 9-to-5 job and they don't want to do anymore. They want to be coddled. Like that's not going to translate into quality video games when the passion is gone. And then you're going to have the other side of people that are literally only there. They don't give a shit about video games. They're there to push an agenda or a perspective. And then you're going to have two separate sides that are both unhealthy for the video game landscape. And it's just going to, like, video games have thrived for so long, we're ready for that bubble to pop. And if it pops at a point where things are so shitty, like I don't even know if it's capable of recovering, or if it does, like if it's even going to be worth going back to at this point. It does not look good. It does not look healthy.
Yeah.
That's the downside to looking at the news all the time. It speaks volumes to the fact that when I'm looking for news, I have to literally go out of my way to find things that I can hand pick that I'm like, oh, well, this is kind of okay. Like at least it's not negative. We'll talk about this because at least it's not negative. Like that is not that's not a sign of a healthy industry.
Yeah.
So, and again, like a lot of these I have to pick because they are worth talking about, and the worthwhile things to talk about, they're all negative.
And it keeps happening.
And it's not that my perspective is negative on the industry. It's that the industry as a whole right now is very negative. And things like this that we're just talking about here is a big part of why things are the way that they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just sucks. It's sad to see as like a genuine fan that has been into video games for as long as I have, that is like financially and emotionally invested in the industry, to see it in the current state and is very disheartening. And even more so is just like the concern for what the future looks like when I start seeing shit like this. Like, will we even be talking about video games in 10 years at all?
I'm also upset because I've been waiting since I was a little girl to be able to play video games and pretend I'm a cool hot chick, and now they're trying to take my hot chick. Like now I get video games with cool hot chicks in it, and everybody's hating on them, and I'm like, stop it. The guys get to pay big muscle cool guys. Let me play big booby girl lady badasses.
Big booby girl lady.
John want to have his hooker legs.
Yeah, I want my hooker legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a part of this. You can keep talking, Shayla. I just want to go to a part in this video.
Okay.
What were you saying?
I was gonna say no. Go ahead. Let this finish first.
Well, I have to find it first.
Oh, I was
she
gonna
watching
say
a video of herself, just real quick.
No.
Oh, okay.
Wow, racism.
No, but just like the voice was the same.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I have a piece of news for after this, though. It's kind of small.
Okay. But
How do you get pictures
like
of
this
my
character
thing?
where they're like, oh, like beauty standards are too high and nobody looks like that, and it's offending people when we glorify, like, you know, slender attractive women in makeup. So she takes her makeup off, she takes her armor off, and she's overweight, and then she, you know, goes out the door and fights like as an overweight, no makeup woman. Like that, that's not really a healthy message. Like we shouldn't be shaming people for the way that they look, but, you know, like we should have standards within ourselves. We should want to be thin, we should want to be healthy, we should want to, you know, we should have higher expectations of ourselves to do more and be better. Like it shouldn't be encouraged to be like, oh, you're fat, you should stay fat, you're perfect the way you are. That's not healthy. Like
Thank
it's
you.
literally not you could die from being fat. Like it's not okay, especially when we're talking about like kids and stuff. It's not okay to raise people thinking that it's okay and normal and healthy to be overweight. Like that's not okay. And to like villainize companies and characters who look attractive and slender is insane. And then, you know, we go back and we're like, we're going to talk about this is happening currently with a Star Wars game that we're going to talk about, but like they hire these models to be scanned into a game, attractive models. They pay them, scan them in the game, and they literally make them look less attractive than they normally do because of this shit. This idea of like, you know, oh well, it's upsetting women because they don't look like that kind of mentality. But like, there are people that are like super attractive, or there's also people that aren't, that like the fantasy of being that, or there's people that just like that cosmetically. They like, it's visually appealing to see, you know, beautiful, attractive people in whatever media, whether it's movies or commercials or video games. Like that is just, as human beings, like you can't deny that for most people that is more appealing. And when you talk about like media and advertising, when humans are attracted to that, it makes sense to appeal to that because it's eye-catching and it makes it desirable. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean you're a piece of shit for enjoying something like that, for that being appealing to your human nature. Like to deny that's asinine.
I mean, I will say in this particular case, I don't think that lady looks that bad or even that fat or even that
No,
ugly. So like,
she's not.
I don't know. That one's
It's
kind
the
of
message. It's the
I
idea
don't think
behind it.
it's necessarily like saying like it's not okay to be fat and stuff. I don't think that's necessarily a message to throw out there, because it's not always people being overweight and something. It's generally like a body type where people are just bigger. Like to me, when she took off her armor, it's a lot of people who go into video games and they have like a bigger body type, or their body type is just shaped in a way that like they're not happy with it. But in video games, they play the character smaller because they just like to look like that. It's not something they can change in real life. Even like get thinner and stuff. It's not something you can just tell somebody to do and they can do it. So I don't think it's fair to just say like that's what we should be saying to them, instead of, oh, it's okay to video like to play video games and be like that. And so I feel like that might be the message they're throwing out there. Like, yeah, you like, you know, any body type, you can just go in the video game, be what you want to be, come out of the video game, and you could still be you. And like, I feel like that might be maybe what they were trying to put out. Like, that's at least how I saw that. Like, she just finished her game, got out, and she's like, haha, I'm still a fighter, but like real life.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of why I didn't want to cut that up as much as I did, because like, yeah, that sounds great what you said. And if that's the message, then that's totally fine. And you make a great point of like, yeah, not all overweight people or larger people are a result of neglect or whatever. Like there are people that are shaped differently, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, like I just want to say, like, I like not to disagree with you specifically, but I just don't think it's fair to say like we should encourage people to be thin, or we should tell people that they should be thin.
No,
Like, that's not.
No, I agree
fair.
with you 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not,
and nobody can just do that.
right. Yeah, that's not at all what I'm saying. I agree 100% with what you're saying. It's a great point. It's more of like, you know, we're getting to a point where like there are people who are very large that, you know, are encourage, like there are things that they could do, like there's YouTubers for example that are like on YouTube and they're eating unhealthy and they're leaning into this like
Avocado,
lifestyle.
avocado.
Exactly, right? And they're encouraged to maintain this lifestyle like it's okay and that it's healthy and that they're doing something that's okay. And like there's even a narrative going around that it's like if you lose weight, if you work out and you pursue an active health style, you're fat phobic. Like things are getting so absurd. Like it's one thing to have a conversation of, yeah, there's different body types and that's okay. And some of them might be
I don't
healthy,
know.
some of them are not. It's worth, but
Abby.
if you're pushing a message,
Oh, used to pussing.
if you're pushing a message, I can't talk. Like it needs to be the right one. It needs to be a thoughtful message, like rather than just saying like, no, if you're attractive, that's bad. They're too pretty. They're too thin.
Yeah.
Fat people as a blanket are
just-
bad. Both sides of that. There are two sides. There's two extremes, right? That neither should be pushed. There should be, if you're going to push a message, it should be thoughtful and it should be worth having a conversation about. But most messages that are put out there at this point, they're fueled by anger and discourse, and you're not allowed to have a conversation. It's about, I'm right, this is the facts. Like it's unhealthy the way that we're talking about or we're not even talking about things. We're not allowed to talk about things. It's just like whatever gains the most traction and has the wider community or following, like that's the message that we're going to push. Don't talk about it. Don't have a conversation. And that is problematic regardless of where you're coming from. Like we need to have both. We should have
Yes.
people who have different body shapes and styles and that are attractive and I don't know, mid, whatever. I don't know how to say it in a flattering way, but like, there should be variety in that. Everybody doesn't need to be super attractive. Everybody doesn't need to be super thin. Everybody doesn't need to be ugly. Everybody doesn't need to be fat. Like there is a middle ground that and that's how it should be. Like it just, we're saying like, this is okay and that's not. Don't talk about it. And that's where the problem lies.
Everybody needs to be purple.
Yeah. Well, no,
Stay
I was just
purple.
gonna say that I think it'll get. I think it again. I will think it will equal itself out. I think because we've hit a global platform where a lot of nuances aren't always understood in every country. We do have to be a little bit more like
Country.
obvious with our like statements towards things,
Yes,
and
no.
that eventually like I was gonna go somewhere with this, but I think it's gonna be fine in the end. I think a lot of times some of these really awful blanket statements people are just making for the sake of engagement. Like people say things that no one who's sane agrees with. Thus, it gets you to comment on it. So it's like when you say like, "Oh, all all a certain type of people are this," and you're like completely unhinged off target with it, then of course everybody's going to jump in and say, "Oh, that's not true," or like, "Haha, yeah, totally, bunch of losers." Oh, and it gets people to engage with posts, and I feel like so many things that you hear, opinions are just like rage bait online for the sake of getting us to react.
Yeah, and if that's all it was, I would agree. And I would just say, yeah, of course, just ignore it and live your life or whatever. But when we have Microsoft implementing that initiative, right, and other companies like that video, those people that were speaking about and posting about like white people need to get beat and terrify your HR department and stuff like that. These are game developers and leaders, people leading the industry and multi-million and billion-dollar corporations that are taking this way beyond like just discourse or attention on the internet or on a worldwide platform. Like that's my concern, is that it's getting to become a real problem rather than a
Yeah.
conversation or an opinion or an attempt at popularity or whatever. That's where it started. And when people ignore it and kind of have that perspective, which is used to be a good perspective to have, of just like, just ignore it, you know,
Now
you know,
everyone's
on a
insufferable.
personal level, just like be good and all that kind of stuff. But when you
Treat it
just
like
you
Ashley.
ignore it and you don't comment on it, and then it just kind of runs away and blows up into something bigger,
Just like
that
Ashley.
is my concern. Because it's becoming almost unstoppable at this point. You know, like Microsoft is digging in.
Bit like this
What's
first
next?
article.
I mean, this wasn't even the article. This was just a follow up to last time. I just
Oh.
wanted to finish that up from last time. But
Finish
anyway,
the story, Cody. Finish the story.
Lick a stove.
Lick a stone.
Lick a store.
No, Alec. Fuck out of here with that shit. Know your audience.
Oh, I don't need to know him. I licked him.
all right. So now
Okay.
we'll dive into the actual news. Stay away from Star Wars
my.
Outlaws, everybody.
Why?
I mean, I'm not a Star Wars fan anyway, so it's not going to be hard for me.
I mean, I'm not either, but I was actually curious about this game until recently. But there's a lot of different factors as to why you should not buy this game. This ties in a little bit to what we were talking about before, but the latest Star Wars game is getting a lot of attention and not in a good way. Firstly, the game is being criticized for its poor rendition of its lead protagonist, Kay Vess, who is played by actress Humberly Gonzalez.
Hum diggity dog dog.
I've never seen the name Humberly or Umberly. I don't know.
Is she humble?
The character appears to be made intentionally less attractive, something that seems to be happening more and more with leading females in video games. Star Wars Outlaws developer even commented on this, stating essentially that rendering actors realistically within a video game is very difficult, and that changes to the face need to be made due to the effects that lighting and shadows have on the models. This was quickly ripped apart as other examples of actors being used well in video games were made, such as the protagonists of Resident Evil 2, Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba in Cyberpunk, and even better, actor Cameron Monaghan in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, another Star Wars game created using an actor for the protagonist. So we're going to look at an example of the two characters, the actor compared to the in-game model, to see if what they're saying is even relevant, which, spoiler alert, it's not.
The ginger boy.
Oh, you know who that is?
Yeah, it's Cal.
Have you played that?
I played a little bit of
Oh,
it.
look at you with your fanciness. All right.
I liked it.
So this is, it looks good, and I've heard nothing but good things. So this is the
It looks
character.
like him.
Yeah, it looks great. I would make the argument that he actually looks a little bit more attractive in the game. But yeah, I mean, it looks like him. The likeness is there. Everything is fine. Looks great. Technology is there to take an actor, translate them accurately into a video game without losing any, I don't know, like you don't have to ugly up the actor because lighting.
That's
Right.
not the first game, though.
No, it's a newer one.
Okay.
But this Star Wars Outlaw game is newer than this game, so the tech should be even better. So there's that, and then we have
I was gonna say he doesn't have facial
This
hair
one.
in the first one.
and this I dug to find a more appealing picture of her, and she, like, make no mistake, this is not an ugly character model, but the thing is, like, compare the actress to that picture, and it's very different. And when they first announced the game, she looked way more attractive. And then they just put out a new trailer, I think this week. And somehow between the first trailer and the second trailer, in fact, I think this might actually be from the reveal, not the new trailer, this picture. But between the two trailers, somehow she looks worse. And everyone is like, what the fuck is going on? What happened? Why did they make her look worse than she did before? And the developer's excuse was technology. But that's not true. That's just a lie. So clearly something else is going on here to make this happen, because technology gets better, not worse. You saw the Jedi Survivor guy, right? Looked great. No loss of, like, the guy doesn't look uglier in the game than he does in real life, or less attractive than he does in real life. So, and again, Resident Evil 2 characters, like in the remake, right? They look like the actors. They look good. They didn't have to make them look worse. I mean, Claire's debatable, and I get it.
Where's her chin?
But still, for the most part, they did a good job translating that over, and that That game was what, 2018, 19, right? Older technology. We've had several years to do better at that. Cyberpunk also did that well, older game. So like you can't tell me that you can't accurately maintain a character's likeness from the scan process to the actual in-game character. There's plenty of evidence that points to the opposite, that they can do that, they can do it really well, and it looks great when they want it to. But like this isn't the only time that this has happened. There's other games out there where, they take this actress, they scan her in, very attractive lady, they put her in, and somehow she looks less attractive after the fact. This never happens with male actors for some reason. It just somehow with female actors, they just there's some kind of magic spell going on there or something. It makes no sense. So I feel like this is part of that thing that's going on behind the scenes of like, oh well, they got to be more relatable. They can't be too pretty. They can't be sexy. Don't objectify them. Maybe make them look a little less attractive to fit into these boxes. And it's just like, why? It's okay to be pretty. It's okay to be slender. Like it shouldn't be villainized.
Okay, so I could think of a couple reasons why, and that's just my
Sure.
so one, so like if it like maybe they didn't have to like I think the attractiveness, I get it, is sort of subjective. Although I get it that in specific this particular picture, her nose does look asymmetrical, which is like supposedly not part of the anyway.
Her
I get
jaw
that that's
too is more manly,
But
more
I also
masculine.
do know that there's cases where like the um actress of Beyond Two Souls was upset when she found out that there were mods of her like nude mods of her character. So I could see how maybe a actress may be encouraged to be like, you know what? Can it maybe just not look like me? Like, we make sure that it doesn't look anything like me? And then it also could be like, I know in the case of action figures, if you've ever noticed that sometimes action figures just don't look anything like they'll come out with movie action figures and they don't look anything like the character, and that turns out it actually has nothing to do with their sculpting abilities. And sometimes it's that they have to pay extra to like use that character's like rights to make it look like them. And so maybe it's one of those things where it's like, if it's going to look anything like the character, then you kind of have to make sure, or I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
I get what you're saying, but it's just not the case. Like they literally, the only reason they're this particular issue might okay, no. So there's two things. One, for the most part, when they're scanning in a likeness of an actor or model, um, most of the time with video games, it's a model. So like the sole purpose of them taking their likeness is so that they look like that. That's why they're there. That's why they're being paid. So to say that they're like making them look a little bit different for any reason makes no sense. Like if that's the case, just start from scratch and make a fake model.
Mhm.
Like don't pay a model to be in a game to take their likeness just to make them look different. Why would you do that? Secondly, like with this game, I know that she is the actress as well. I believe she does the voice work too and mocap. So like
Okay.
maybe I could maybe see that being in there, but again, if this was a one-off, I wouldn't even talk about it because yeah, maybe there's
Mhm.
something else going on. Maybe the developer just isn't talented enough to make it translate correctly. Maybe there's something going on with the actress. Could be a million things. But this happens all the time. And like I said, it can't just be a coincidence that this is only happening in relation to female character models. Like this does not happen when you have the likeness of a male model or a male actor. They always look spot on. The technology has been proven time and time again that you can do that. And part of the appeal of getting an actor into the game is their likeness. I mean, it's probably a combination of their voice, their acting ability, and their likeness. But if you're paying them, several thousand, probably $100,000 or some stupid amount to get them into this project, you should be able to implement all elements of that person, likeness, their mocap, their just everything, right? You want the essence of that actor to be in the video game. Like, you shouldn't be picking and choosing elements of it. Like, that's part of the appeal is, hey, we've got Keanu Reeves in this game. We don't want just his likeness. We don't want just his voice. You're paying for the whole package. So why wouldn't you put it in there and get the full extent out of it? You know, you want it to look good. You want it to sound good. You want it to be genuine. You know, you want his mannerisms when he's doing the mocap. Like, why would you pick and choose different elements out of that unless there's like an agenda or some external reason to do something like that? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, so there's that. That's not even the whole thing. That's just like part of the problem with this game. The game is also being roasted for its distribution and monetization decisions. The base game is going to be $70 and requires an internet connection to install the game again, rendering the physical release redundant. So this will join Hogwarts Legacy and Suicide Squad as games that have physical releases that don't really have physical releases because you have to connect to the internet to install the fucking game. So why even bother? Why waste the money and resources to print a disc that has no meaning? There will be no Steam version of the game. Instead, the game will only be available on the Epic Store, which requires the Epic app to run, which means it has DRM. So it's tied to the lifespan of the Epic Store. If the Epic Store goes away, so does your game. Or you can play it through Ubisoft, you can play it through the Ubisoft service for $17.99 a month through their subscription service, which I'm sure they want you to do. And it gets worse. For those who want to own the complete game, you'll have to shell out $130 for the Ultimate Edition, which comes with one extra mission and a handful of costumes and skins.
Yeah.
$130. Awesome.
That's a lot of bucks.
It's a lot of bucks for one game. But you get 3 days early access. Oh boy.
3 whole days or just
3 whole days.
Oh wow. That's a lot of days.
That's exciting.
The first day you can wait, installing it.
Yeah, exactly. Copying the disc.
Right. And yeah, it's a single player game, so I don't know. Do you really need 3 days early access? Do you
Yes.
really need an internet connection to play it? No.
You just told us we do, so
Ubisoft told you do, but you don't. Yeah, it's dumb. But yeah, so don't support that game for whatever reason you pick. There's plenty of them to choose from.
How about just it being Star Wars?
I mean, that's another one.
There we go.
There's plenty of
Stick with
them.
that one.
Plenty of them. Vampire Survivors is coming to PlayStation and crosses over with Contra. Yay!
Yeah.
This is one of the more exciting, positive news stories. So get excited, everybody.
Okay.
Vampire Survivors
Yeah.
is a top-down roguelike where you survive massive waves of enemies while upgrading your character to become powerful enough to fend off the waves of enemies. So I've seen a little bit. I don't know a lot about this game, but I've seen a little bit of video. And from what I can tell, it looks like,
Pretty cute.
for a while I was playing like those mobile games to, make the money or whatever. And so I experienced a lot of free-to-play mobile games in my time against my better judgment. And there's a lot of games, like free-to-play games that are like the same concept. It's just like you're a character and you run around and there's just like infinite waves of enemies that they continually come at you. And like as you kill things, you get points and you like level up and you become more powerful and stuff like that. With the mobile games, obviously it's focused on monetization. So they want you to spend $2 to get this upgrade and spend $2 to get that upgrade. I don't know if this game's like that, but it just like, it turns me off because since it looks like it's designed to be that kind of a game, but it's like a game that you buy, like a video game, a real video game. I don't know. I don't know if it's my cup of tea, but Shayla,
Yeah, I know, right? I
I know
might
you
like
like
it.
it.
I'm looking it up right now.
There you go. See, maybe you'll get into it. I don't know.
Right?
Um,
I am preferring Squirrel with a gun over Vampire with guns, but yeah.
Is it called Vampires with Guns?
no, Vampire Survivors.
Survivors. Okay. Wasn't there a game?
It's for whatever reason it's really popular. It's like one of the more popular indie games of the last, I don't know, year or two maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, it's finally making its way to consoles. It's coming to PlayStation sometime in the summer, and it's getting DLC on May 9th, where it's going to be crossing over with Contra. It's going to add several characters from Contra and bosses from the
Yeah.
franchise as well. I like Contra,
Me too.
but I can't help but wonder, like, why not Castlevania? What?
Mm.
It's too
Why?
controversial.
It's like
Contradicts a
it's
lot
the
of things.
perfect game to do Castlevania, and Castlevania just crossed over with Dead Cells, I think. So
Mm-hmm.
clearly they're open to like doing collaborations with indie.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
this would be like the perfect opportunity to put Castlevania characters in here, but they didn't do it. I
Maybe
wonder
because
why.
there's a new Contra that just came out.
They couldn't get a
Mm.
contract.
Comes down to money, of course.
A contract.
Advertising.
Couldn't get a
Yeah.
contract.
UK video game retailer Game is hit with layoffs.
Yay!
Yay! Looks like it isn't just the game developer industry being hit with layoffs, because yeah, now Game is in trouble. And I can't help but wonder, like, how is GameStop still around? Like, is Game gonna shut down before GameStop when they've been struggling for like a decade? How is GameStop still around? It's crazy.
It can't be stopped. That's why.
Yeah, they should change it to Game Can't Be Stopped. There you go. But yeah, it's sad to
'Cause
see.
It's like GameStop, and Game was like, "Oh, okay."
Because
They're
that
gonna-
whole
they're
Wall
gonna stop
Street thing
first.
happened.
I should go back to Game Station.
Is that what they were called?
No, it's always been Game, and then there was a sub bit called Game Station, but then Game bought them over.
Gotcha. The retailer with over 240 stores in the UK has removed the assistant manager role within the company. Assistant managers were notified via email that their jobs were in jeopardy and were told they can discuss the matter with their leaders. That's awesome PR.
Take me to your leader.
So I
Okay,
guess
you're
they
fired.
can plead the case for their jobs to their manager, I guess, is what that sounds like, which is kind of fucked up. Justify why I should keep you hired. Wow.
Because I give good head.
Entry-level employees are also at risk of losing their jobs if they are kept on. They will be offered a 0-hour contract, which will not guarantee any hours on a week-to-week basis. So this is something that I actually dealt with when I was working at GameStop on the side. Like I worked for them for 5 years, I think, just part-time. The only reason I worked there was to get the discount and get posters and shit like that. But there was a period of time where like I would go, weeks or a month and not get a single hour scheduled. And that was great for me because like I didn't want to have to work there. I just wanted the discounts and shit. But for somebody that's like, that's their job and they're relying on the income, that's not great. It's like, yeah, we'll hire you, but we might give you 0 hours or 2 hours or 4 hours in a week. Like you can't survive based on something like that. So the fact that they're taking their employee base and they're just like, we may or may not have hours for you. It's kind of fucked up. You might as well just fire them. Honestly, I feel like that'd be more humane than to be like, yeah, stick around in case we need you. That's not a great move. Sounds like a GameStop practice right there. But yeah, it's not surprising to see brick and mortar retailers suffering in 2024, given, everything's going
Everything.
digital. So yeah, we'll see how long they can stick around. I know Lee goes there a lot. If they shut down Lee, where are you going to get your games? It's time to go to Amazon. Time to go to Amazon.
I mean, to be fair, games have actually gone into a different shop store anyway. It's gone into Sports Direct. So they used to have their own building, but now they're in joint thing of a shop. So yeah.
They don't even have independent game
No.
stores anymore? Wow. I didn't know that. Damn, that's sad.
It's poo poo.
Dead Space 2 remake isn't happening. So
Yay!
if you were holding out hope to see another remake, stop. Dead Space remake developer EA Motive has confirmed that Dead Space 2 remake was never even on the table. EA was considering a new title of some kind, but the title was never greenlit. This was due to missed target sales on the original Dead Space remake and interest in other projects. So it was never a priority to revive Dead Space like everybody had hoped. They were just like, hey, let's make a remake.
What you got. You got what you got.
Just kind of it. So that's kind of discouraging. I was one of the people that hoped like maybe they were testing the waters and maybe they do a Dead Space 2 remake. Maybe they do a sequel.
Nope.
But no. They probably saw the opportunity to make some money on the heels of the Resident Evil remakes. And they were like, let's cash in real quick and get the fuck out. And they did. I think I got one more.
He's gonna get his game on the internet.
There you go. Yeah, I wonder if they'll like close down their stores and just do everything online. Probably make more sense. Speaking of EA is increasing their subscription fees again. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! The increase will go into effect on May 10th and will affect all tiers of their digital game subscription service. The base tier, which gives you a rotating selection of games on a monthly basis, will increase from $4.99 a month to $5.99 a month and will go from $29.99 a year to $39.99 a year. The Pro tier, which gives you full access to the EA library, including premium editions, increased from $14.99 per month to $16.99 per month, or $119.99 per year, increasing $20. Get used to seeing this in the news because shit just keeps going up and up and up. And that's the news, everybody. Isn't video games fun?
Yeah.
Yay! Yay! All right, Jazz, you have a game to talk about?
I do. Yay. Okay, so before you put the picture up, because we're gonna do the where the hell's my thing? We're gonna do the trailer, but before we do the trailer, let me talk to you a little bit about this. So if I tell you the name Keiichiro Toyama, what does that make you think of?
Say it again.
Keiichiro Toyama.
Keiichiro Toyama.
Kind of sounds familiar, but I don't.
Keiichiro. It's either Keiichiro Toyama or Keiichiro Toyama.
Catch up.
I don't know.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk about a little game called Slitterhead.
Slitterhead. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Slitterhead.
Ooh.
It's a survival horror, gory body horror.
Ooh.
Doesn't have too much about the game itself, but we're gonna watch the trailer and then I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about what I found about it.
Ooh.
Wow.
Get ready to find out why the name Keiichiro Toyama.
Yeah,
sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it game trailer 1 or 2?
1.
Okay.
That's
Oh.
And this video comes from the Game Awards. It was shown at the Game Awards.
I think we talked about this. I feel like it looks familiar.
It looks awesome.
Right? I remember this now, yeah. I knew I recognized that name. Like not the dude's name, but the game name. Yeah.
He's gonna get good head. Is Leon flying that plane?
Hi. Hi, Grandma.
Yeah, so Slitterhead, I didn't realize we talked about it before. I didn't remember at all.
I'm pretty sure it was super brief.
It was on a compilation of videos that I watched, like videos coming out or at some point in the future, and I looked a little bit more into it. It's by the developers Bokeh Game Studio.
Okay.
It doesn't have, it's not really announced what platform it's on per se. I'll get a little bit into that in a little bit. As mentioned, it is a survival horror, gory body horror. We can see why they would call it that. It's a project led by,
I don't see why.
no, Keiichiro Toyama, and announced back in 2021. The Scare 'em Up kind of game marks the first game from Bokeh Game Studio, the studio that was created by Keiichiro Toyama after he left Sony. I forgot what they're called. I always forget. Sony whatever entertainment in 2020. Sony Interactive Entertainment. So we have discussed that in the past on the Wardcast. He left Sony Entertainment in 2020, went independent, founded Bokeh Game Studio to try to bring something new to the world, to try to come out with a new game. As Keiichiro Toyama is the one who brought us Silent Hill in 1999, also the creator of Siren and many other classic horror games.
Siren was pretty cool.
And so with
Very
Silent
weird.
Hill, very weird. I never finished it, but I should go back to it.
Me
With
too.
Silent Hill and Siren's creator behind the wheel, it's looking that this game is probably going to be really good. Although it's been 3 to 4 years since Slitterhead released the reveal trailer that we just watched. I've only recently come across it. There has been a little bit of like gameplay footage that's been shown recently, which gives us a glimpse of the combat function. It seems to balance action elements with some sort of magic. You see like the blood come out and become some sort of blade. It's hard to say what the combat's actually going to look like. And in the gameplay footage that's on YouTube, it looks kind of like, it looks really awkward, but it's been pointed out that it's in early development, so it's not really clear that that's what it's going to look like. I was going to get it, but the footage that I found was kind of like, I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable bringing it. And it was long too. So from what we saw from the trailer, obviously it's a city that's being shown overwhelmed by some giant parasites. They seem to take control of their hosts in a manner that we would see in like Japanese horror films. Not much else is given by that, but I feel like if that's the case, if we're like, you're fighting these parasites, and from the look of like the girl coming out and trying to attract the guy over, and it doesn't look off the bat. It looks like they're impersonating humans with the parasites. It looks kind of cool where like you're not sure who's got parasites or not. So it looks like a really cool cool concept, cool idea. And again, like backed up by this, like the project led by somebody who has a really good history with horror games. I think it's got good potential. In an interview, or there's been no concrete release date for now, but the studio head Keiichiro Toyama said that the developer's first project would release in 2023. So hopefully that means that window has been passed, but hopefully that means we'll see it pretty soon. For PC, in an interview held prior to the reveal, so the reveal came out. I'm all messed up right now, so I'm gonna mix up my notes. I'm sorry. In that interview, Bokeh, the studio, said that it's keen to bring Slitterhead to, quote, as many console platforms as possible, which means that most likely we'll be seeing it not only for PC, but also for Xbox and PS5, at the very least. Seems likely. Given how early in development the last bit of gameplay footage looks, it's yet to be seen if we're going to see the game this year, considering we're already a quarter through. I mean, that's messed up that we're already a quarter through.
Right.
The trailer that we just saw, as you saw at the top, aired at the Game Awards and teased a little bit of what we can expect from the studio's first project. But with his credentials and with the music composer that we heard, who was also in a lot of horror games, there's been a lot of comments and a lot of hype saying glad to see Team Silent. I think it's what they called them, Team Silent back in action, or Silent Team or something like that. No, at the time that we first
why have they been so silent?
Yeah.
on the hill. At the time that we first mentioned, him leaving in 2020, and stuff like that, it was unsure what he would end up bringing to the world in his new studio and what like his next project would be. But now we kind of caught a glimpse of what it would look like, and I don't know what your thoughts are. You guys are the ones who've played Silent Hill. I haven't played it per se, and I've played a bit of Siren, but I don't remember much of it. But what do you guys think?
It's just like with everything. Like I trying to keep hope alive. I want it to be good. Like there's exciting elements of it. Like the trailer looked cool. I like the concept. The people that are involved are exciting, but that doesn't always translate into quality, or more importantly, kind of what you want it to be. That I'm kind of against saying, like, when they're like, oh, from the minds of, or like produced by, because like it sets a weird expectation that's almost guaranteed to fail. Because like this, it doesn't look like a Silent Hill game, but when you start it with like from the creator of Silent Hill, like boom, you're already like, oh, Silent Hill. It's like in your mind, like you're remembering like, oh, Silent Hill. I love Silent Hill. This is why I like Silent Hill. Give me more of that. Like that's what that does to you. So like in some way, more or less, you're going to be wanting more Silent Hill from this or something similar. And it doesn't look like that's what it's going to be. And that's kind of what happened with Ghostwire Tokyo with Shinji Mikami. They did the same thing. They're like, Shinji Mikami's doing a new horror game. Get excited. And like, okay, well, boom. You're like, okay, Shinji Mikami, Resident Evil, let's fucking go. And Ghostwire Tokyo came out. It's first person. It's this weird action game. Like it's not remotely, so it's not survival horror, nothing like Resident Evil. So it's just kind of setting the wrong expectations. And that's kind of my concern. Like, where is this going? Is this, I mean, I can already tell it's not going to be like Silent Hill with like the blood sword and all that kind of shit. So again, like, what are they trying to accomplish with this? Like, I'd rather them like show me the game and then like right at the end, then tell me like, oh, Silent Hill creators involved. Like then you've kind of seen what the game's going to be and the potential of it. And like, it's starting to kind of marinate in your mind as to what the game could be. And then like at the back end, it's like, oh, this guy that I like that made this thing that I like is also involved. You know what I mean? Like it makes more sense to put that on the back end, but it's too late. Like when I saw this, I'm like, oh, cool. Silent Hill. Give me more Silent Hill. this isn't Silent Hill. So I don't know. Like whatever it ends up being, I hope it's good. But I want more. I want him to do more survival horror games. I want him to do more Silent Hill. I want to see Silent Hill come back in a meaningful way. And clearly that's not going to happen with the remake. So it's still like leaving that, like, you know, it's still leaving me wanting more Silent Hill shit. I don't know.
I think it's
I
gonna
hope
be
it's good.
fun.
Well, good luck. I hope it's fun. I hope it is. I do.
It's striking me as, like, I understand where Sean's coming from, and I'm kind of agreeing with them. However, it struck me as when Hideo went to Death Stranding, you know, we just saw the trailers and it's just like, what is this game? It's not Metal Gear. It's just some guy with fucking ladders. And
And a baby.
yeah, is it fucking Donkey Kong? And I enjoyed the game. I've played it like 3 times, completed it 3 times. Do I play Metal Gear more? Hell yeah. But
Do you like Metal Gear more?
yeah.
See, that's kind of the thing. I feel like at best, I feel like this is going to be the Evil Within again. You know, like Shinji Mikami went back, did survival horror again. Everybody wanted Resident Evil 4 to happen again. And it was a good game, but it wasn't what people wanted. So like I feel like it's probably going to be like, maybe if we luck out, it'll be a good game, but it's not going to be what we want. That's where I stand on it.
While sitting down.
Exactly.
Okay. We'll
Okay.
have to wait and see. Hopefully, there's either more info or a game soon.
Yeah, it's going to get canceled.
Well, no,
I hope not.
no. How are we doing on time? 'Cause I had another video, but I don't know.
Just kidding.
We can do that one next week.
Okay. It's that one I think you might like.
I see how it is.
I thought you'd like Slitterhead, but
No, I'm excited about it. I'm just
Complaining.
I'm not. How did I complain? I
The
vocalized
weather wasn't good on the
my
graphics
feelings on
wise.
it rather than just saying
skepticism.
like, I hope it's good.
Your
it
skepticism.
was a clear
I-
night that day. There was no weather.
Because the
thing
game
is-
looks freaking awesome, but you're like, oh, it's not Silent Hill, though, so.
But it's not like that just came out of nowhere though. It's like I'm fucking jaded for a reason. Like
I know.
I try to be excited for things, and usually when I am, I'm let down for a multitude of reasons. And so like I'm rather than being like, oh, because X, Y, and Z, I'm super excited, can't wait for it to come out. That like and then just be disappointed. I'm like, okay, well, let's look at this realistically. Like, what are my expectations? What do I want from this? What does it look like? What have we seen? And then yeah, hope for the best. Like I said, I'm excited for it. I'm hopeful for it. What more do you want from me? I'm cautiously optimistic. That's a good place to be.
Okay, it's game time.
Gross.
Oh. There we go.
Alright. Let's do remember. I remember I got fucking things. Yeah, there we go.
The following game contains reversed clips of potentially horrible things previously said. It's reversed and remember time, so grow the fuck up.
Whoa.
Alright. Here's the first one.
Meow, Sian.
He's not that whole head though. He'll see the best one. Never on me. Yes, never on more. Well, and with me. Whoa, he don't mean it. Whoa. The shit seal of the no. Wow.
That was from a machinima, I'm assuming?
I
Yeah, it
think,
was Dante.
yeah, I think that was the RE2 spood.
Spood. RE2 Spood. Final answer.
What character did you do in that, Sean?
Marvin.
Oh. Okay.
And here's
R2
the-
Spood then.
Wow. What a police station. Hello? Is anybody home? That came from that room. Hello?
Over here, man.
Oh, Marvin. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Marvin?
Stop that.
Okay, but seriously, what the hell happened here?
Well, I was going outside to take a shit and I got bit.
Nice rhyme.
Thanks, rookie.
Thanks,
All right.
Rookie.
And I got bit.
Thanks, Jesus. All right, next one.
It sounded like Residents.
Sounds like Alec.
Did it? Oh, I thought it sounded like the thanks for the cameo, Andrew guy.
No, that's not Ron.
Ron, yeah.
It sounded gay, but not gay enough.
Oh,
Just kidding.
then I don't know. It was definitely Resident Evil 1 music in the background, though.
I took
My
a small
guess-
shit for you, Lee.
My guess is
He
Residents.
gave you,
but-
he gave you crabs, so no,
Yeah,
fair.
and I shot him out
yeah.
during the recording.
It sounded like Alec, but I can't tell. Play it again.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
It's Alec talking to himself.
Wow, Alec.
I mean, I often do.
Yeah, it's either Dino's 2 with Crisis. No. I feel like it might be, but the music.
Yeah, it's like some Resident Evil music.
Yeah, it was Resident Evil 1.
When do I use music?
I know, right?
I guess the Residents.
No, it's not the Residents.
It's...
I know, but I don't know what else it would be.
I feel like it's that the machinima he makes with Birkin and Wesker. What the hell is that? I forget what you called it, but that.
It's like the 1 minute ish stuff.
Yeah, the 1 minute machinima with Wesker and Birkin. That's. I don't remember like the actual name, but that's my guess.
Yeah. All right, let's play the reveal.
Jill, go check it out. I'll secure this area. Oh yeah,
Area.
send the only girl. Very manly, guys. Well, I can't send Barry. Look at him.
This sandwich
That is you, right?
missing something.
What the fuck?
Chris. Well, I have my reasons to keep him around.
Sounds like you. Did you just pull some random shit off YouTube again that no one's watched?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
So it is Rab Tunes. They've done a lot of parodies on Resident Evil and a few other things. It's quite fun to watch.
Who?
So, Rab Tunes.
Rab Tunes. Shout
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, give me a watch.
Nice. Nice.
All right, next one.
What the fuck?
It's
Oh,
a
no.
movie. I'll help you out with that one. It's a movie.
Do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they sound
Titanic again?
Irish?
I think it's Titanic. Is it there's all kinds of chaos going on, the boat's sinking, and then that lady's like tucking her kids into bed?
I'll give it that.
I don't think it's not that scene though.
No.
Do you want another clue?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a movie on a video game.
What?
So it's not Titanic. So
Oh.
it's a movie based on a video game. One more time.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Is it Apocalypse? Again.
Have a guess at this point.
Welcome to Raccoon City. Because I like that movie and everybody else hates it.
I didn't hate it.
Yay! Good.
I freaking love the part where Claire puts on the
It's so
motorcycle helmet.
Yes!
So big.
Oh my god.
Even though
I
she was a
love it.
bitch.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Sean, any guesses?
Oh, play it again. Play it one more time.
Jazz figured it out.
No. This totally is Degeneration. When Lee pointed it out.
Degeneration. Who's the lady that spikes like this? It sounds
I
like
don't
she
recognize it at
speaks
all.
like this. It sounds
Yeah, maybe it's not Degeneration.
like she's got a pirate or a
Sonic.
Scottish voice or something.
Alright, I'm gonna play the
House
original.
of the Dead.
All right.
Once again, we are called upon to restore innocence.
Oh, fuck.
We burn this
Silent
witch.
Hill.
We vanquish evil.
What's wrong with you people?
You can't. Don't let her see this. No. We burn the child. We fight the demon.
Did you burn that child?
We burned the child.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
We burned the child. Burn the cop. You're wrong.
What the fuck is
Yeah, lit the wrong fire, you idiots.
Next one.
Okay.
Bravo, mijo.
Is it Metal Gear?
Yeah, I could
don't
see
think
that.
So.
When in doubt.
When in doubt, Metal Gear.
If it was, I didn't recognize it.
The shitty audio quality makes me think it's Metal Gear.
Wow.
Wow.
Well then.
The whole game, it's just like when people are talking, it's like.
Can I hear it
didn't hear
again,
that.
please?
Yeah.
Myös lumella ulosta pervi.
Bravo, mijo!
Pretty sure I heard a zombie. I don't know.
I didn't recognize.
Take a guess.
Star Wars.
Mm. I'm still trying to think because it had a radio in and out. So it has like codec type conversations while they're doing stuff, but it doesn't sound like any Metal Gear to me. But I definitely heard like the and he's like I'm trying to figure out what that sound at the beginning of the I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Sorry.
All right, let's see if you get it from the OG.
Okay, move out!
That's generic.
The docking bay's clear.
Go!
What the fuck?
You've got a patrol on level 2.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, what was it?
Time Splitters 2.
Oh, yeah. I haven't played that enough to. I like the generic, like the sound of the doors opening is used on multiple things.
All right. So this one's a game one. The rest of them are just funny ones. So here we go.
Oh, that music.
You said that isn't a game?
No, it is a game.
This is a game. Oh, well, now I'm off. I need to hear it again now because I was listening to it as if it was something else.
All right.
Sounds like a fighting game or something.
I mean, the yeah, it definitely did.
It could be a porno.
It could be what?
It could be a porno.
Oh.
I have no idea. There's like nothing but music, and I can't place the music.
I know, I couldn't either. I'm gonna
Sounds
guess it's
familiar.
Shira's Wrath, even though that's not what I think it is. I'm just shout out to that game. Because it's kind of like a fighting game, has lots of music, very cinematic.
No ending.
Definitely
Cat
would
game.
have. Yeah.
No, it's not a Yakuza game.
It's a cat game.
The music is killing me. I'm pretty sure I know, like I should know what this is, I feel like.
But it also could sound like generic violent. It just sounds like a.
Yeah.
All right.
Fighting force. Fisting force.
That's the correct thing. Right, let's see if you get it from the original.
That's some Batman shit. Is that Batman Forever on the
On the
SNES?
Super Nintendo?
That's what it sounds like. Batman.
That game is so horrible.
It is, but I enjoyed it kind of.
I got it for
I enjoyed
Christmas
it for
one
what
year
it
and I
was.
was very upset.
I liked it because it was like Mortal Kombat Batman. I'm like, those are two things I like. Was it? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I thought that was Alec for a second.
Batman Forever.
Alright, what was it?
It was Batman and Robin for the PS1.
Oh.
Wow.
Robin.
I get half a
All
point.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get half a point for saying Robin.
Batman.
All right. All right. Next one. They're all parodies from here on out. So here we go. Next one.
Hang on. Okay, money. Down room with Foster. A foot banana with a curry move. If I had a microscope, safe off, stash.
I don't know what it was, but it sounded great.
There was so much going on.
Yeah, it was like a YouTube poop.
YouTube poop.
Remember that you said that.
Because that's probably what it is, but I don't know what it is. Doesn't mean I've seen it.
Well, that I can believe as well.
Well, I heard Sean and Cody.
And Andrew. And Dante. Yeah, this has to be some kind of like, I don't know, like a
dual
mixture of things.
Yeah, dual poop.
Dual poop, yeah.
Alright, what was it?
It's all the times that Leon swears in Duel.
All right, you guys are saying duel. Let's play it original.
Shit. You fuck. Fuck this. Looks like I'm gonna have to enter stealth mode. Oh, fuck.
What was that noise?
Who disturbs my sleep?
Wait,
I'm gonna
what?
kill you for America.
Do you have any idea what time it is?
What time it is?
Welcome to America, the land of go fuck yourself.
But we're not in America.
Oh yeah. Oops.
Wow. That's a busy scene.
Yeah.
Which episode was it?
13?
9?
It's
10.
9. It's 9. All right, next one.
That was Diz. Isn't that...
Nam salmi no varpserat sidneo ssetja. Ira silirmia sidzero. Yeah. Adonis gelnum mitzi. Ah.
What?
Silent Hill one.
Oh.
That was Rebecca.
In the beginning, I thought.
Do it one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Nam salmi no varpserat sidneo ssetja. Ira silirmia sidzero. Yeah. Adonis gelnum mitzi. Ah.
I don't know who
mean,
the other voice actress is.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is, but that's definitely OG RE1 Rebecca.
So it's not Diz.
I thought I
just
heard
sounded
Diz
like
in the
her.
beginning of
The
it,
very beginning scream, but Diz also
which
has
is why
that
I'm
kind
confused.
of scream.
Yeah.
But it sounded like a Diz scream right at the beginning.
And it was definitely a Resident Evil alarm.
Yeah.
So
Did Diz
Resident Hazard?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. That's a good guess.
You got it. Resident Hazard. Here's the original.
Ah, it's the Moonlight Sonata.
I love that.
Hey, what is this?
I'm really sorry. I just joined the Stars Bravo team last month.
Don't screw up again.
All right.
All right.
Jill just shoots her. I love that. It was. I was like, I sort of was like, okay, that's OG Rebecca. The other one's OG Jill. Then it's gotta be, yeah. I love that. Oh no!
Last one.
Oh no!
Last one. It's a bit long, so try and
Alright.
listen out for it.
All right.
Ja, Louie.
Jeg gir en scene med. Hva er det du ikke med? Det er en seertak. Jeg kommer snittaya. Det er så åpne. Sorry about this. Det er her. Det er lukket til sedlen. Sorry about Phoebe. Sorry about. Hva Will kommer snittaya med. Det er små. Will kommer snittaya med. Jeg kommer skrums. Vet meg. Meg. Skrums. Som kjempe ja, you see. Wow! On the ship to the Phoebe Delta West.
New Year.
You know who it kind of sounded like? To me, it sounded like the guy from Dino Super Crisis. That was so. What is his name? I don't remember his name.
And Shayla was there, so it's got to be Dino Stupid Crisis.
Oh, I was there.
Whoa.
But okay, so the other Gale, it sounded like Dino Super Crisis Gale's voice actors, who I thought it sounded like. So I'm gonna guess Dino Super Crisis.
Crisis Stupid Dino.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Because it's reversed.
Yeah, part 2. Because I
Alright.
think part 1
Before
I
he
didn't.
gave up.
Wow. Alright, here's the original.
Are you on drugs?
Let's see. What did I do before this mission? Well, let's see. I had with some magic mushrooms, some smoked ham. I mean, I'm joking. Smoke some crack, and I sniffed some glue.
Some glue.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant I sniffed some clue. And 5 beers, maybe 5 beers. I don't know. That's the legal limit, and I had it. So 5 beers. And while I was at it, I sniffed some crack. After I smoked it, I puked it out, and then I sniffed it again.
How are you alive?
Not really sure.
Not
Now,
really
excuse me while I
sure.
play chess with the ants.
I love that guy.
He's really good.
I recognized his voice. I was like, wait, that's him. I'm gonna go play chess with the ants. Alright.
Ah, that was a blast from the past.
All right, we'll do Ward a monster, and then we'll wrap it up.
Word.
Whoa.
What a monster. I can't believe. What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell? Like, the head looks like Melina, but really weird looking.
Yeah, they changed her design to that garbage.
That's Melina?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the gun arm's Lara Croft. The shirt is Jammer Lammy. The blue sleeve, I don't know. The other foot is Banjo. And the one is Dr. Robotnik, the black one.
Wow, Shay.
Damn.
Really nailed it.
I didn't guess the blue arm.
No, but you pretty much got most of it, right?
Yeah! Which one did I get wrong?
Well, that's me telling you. So
It must be the only one I'm not confident about is Banjo's leg. That's somebody else then, I guess. A Donkey Kong character? Huh. Yeah, so it's up to you guys to figure out the blue arm and the animal leg.
The blue arm looks like some Starfield shit.
Oh yeah, it totally
Starfield
does.
NPC number 13.
Right. Wow,
I don't
Melina
know.
looks
I think
weird.
that leg is like from Banjo Kazooie, but I don't think it
It's
is
just
Banjo
not
Kazooie.
Banjo. What if it's Conker? Because it's got that orange fur. Is it Conker?
I never played Conker.
how have you not played Conker?
I know.
Am I right? Is it Conker?
I want to really bad.
Oh. Is it a Donkey Kong character?
Nope.
I know that blue arm looks like it could be anybody.
It could.
But at the same time, it looks familiar.
Mm-hmm.
To other blue arms that I've seen.
But it looks like it has like overall or something at the top.
I'm really surprised you got the Parappa the Rapper. I thought that'd throw people off.
Oh, I'm Jammer Lammy, because those are I'm Jammer Lammy and Parappa are like two of my favorite games of all time. So I recognize her shirt right away. Jammer Lammy.
Alright, I'm gonna send Sean the reveal.
Want to go for a bite to eat?
Yeah, I'll try to have fun with it. Upload a file. Yeah, okay.
Is that Melina design the kind of stuff you were talking about earlier in the podcast, Sean? Because like, what did they do to that?
Wow, I did not do the reveal so well because like Melina's face is just covered.
Yeah, everybody in Mortal Kombat looks like shit.
I mean, she just looks weird.
What the fuck?
Like if she didn't have the magenta thing, I wouldn't, and the yellow eyes, I wouldn't have guessed that was her because the tusks or the teeth are just so different.
It's Garbo.
We need Garbo. Wow.
Who is that? The two I didn't guess, I still don't know who they
Same.
are.
But like a Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, it does look like a Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. Okay, so it was one of Lexi's Dr. Eggman. Well done. Arm is Lara Croft. Body is Lammy from Parappa the Rapper. Head is Melina in Mortal Kombat. The other leg, which you thought was Concat, was a Big Brother Beaver from Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Oh wow!
And the other arm is young Peter Parker from Marvel's Superman 2.
Marvel Superman 2?
Get
Marvel Superman.
Look, it's been a long day.
Alec just got canceled out of being a nerd.
Oh man.
Marvel Superman.
Marvel
It could happen.
Peter Parker of the planet Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
From Planet Xavier.
The S stands for Spooder. For Spood.
Yeah. The S is for Spider.
Only available on the Sony Dreamcast.
S is for X-Men.
Coming to the Sony Dreamcast.
Oh my god.
Yeah, those little beavers are fucking assholes in that game.
I've played that game and I didn't even recognize those things.
When
I've
you're
never
Zora,
played it.
you gotta swim.
Oh,
Yeah, through the rings to get a bottle. A bottle.
A bottle.
whoa. Fake Zelda fan over here, right here.
Yeah. Loser.
Who?
Me.
Oh wow.
I was just
What a
talking shit
loser.
because I didn't get it.
Alrighty, we'll wrap things up. This has been episode 232. Thanks for joining us, everybody. If you enjoy the podcast or any of the content at The Ward, please consider helping us grow by sharing our content, liking the video, and subscribing. You can also support us through patreon.com/thewordproductions to get exclusive content. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Teleportation!
Teleportation.